would be superb.
Real cars on real roads, real fast. It's the Michelin Canadian Rally Championship on TSN. And after the opening two championship rallies in Quebec, the top teams from Eastern Canada and the United States have hit the road for the long haul to Alberta for rounds 3 and 4. It's more than 4,300 kilometers from Cornwall, Ontario, but the Latreille team made it 38 hours non-stop to Hinton, Alberta, near Jasper National Park, site of the Michelin Bighorn Rally on TSN. Hello again, everyone. I'm Vic Rudder, along with our rally expert, Paul Shader, and the championship wide open.
The American Ford team of Carl Merrill leads the Sprongles by 15 points in the championship, and there are 5 different banks in the top 5.
Today's rally on TSN is brought to you by Michelin. Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires.
And Vic, the top contenders are all here. There's a Subaru Canada entry driven by Tom McGear. Honda Canada has a Civic in the production sport class with Finnish ace Ari Montinen.
And look, we've got a Volvo from Sweden, and they should feel right at home. It snowed yesterday, and it's the end of May. VW Golfs, Audis, but first up, it's car number 1, the brand new 97 Ford Escort, the World Rally car driven by Carl Merrill and Lance Smith.
And Merrill is the defending Canadian champion. You'll notice if you've been watching the rallies this year, there's a new body shell on this Ford team, and it's the one used in the World Championship by Ford. The rules are a little looser here, not quite as restrictive, so Merrill can make some changes to the car. He's claiming he has almost 450 horsepower out of this four-wheel drive car.
Well, people will remember the other one was something in that neighborhood as well, and 7 speeds. This is the Eagle Talon of Selçuk Karamanoglu. Tony Lamino, Selçuk, a former Turkish champion, now lives in Maine.
And for our audience in Europe, the tow from eastern Maine to western Alberta is comparable to London, England, to St. John's, Newfoundland. And the Eagle Talon is a 375 horsepower four-wheel drive built in America by Chrysler and Mitsubishi. Karamanoglu is a series championship contender. He won twice last year. On this 18-kilometer first stage, he beat Carl Merrill by 19 seconds.
From Mississauga, Ontario, the Audi Quattro S2 of Frank and Dan Sprongle, the 3-time Canadian champions. We prepared a special in-car view of this stage, and here's Frank to tell us about his technique.
When we accelerate off the line hard as possible, get the boost up through the gears, and you'll see left foot braking stabilizes the car coming into the corners. It acts like a secondary steering wheel. Back up through the gears. We have a regular conventional gearbox, so we have to use the clutch every time. And the left foot brake just kind of stabilizes the car. There we go again, keeping the boost up in 3rd gear. Coming up into 4th gear, a little tap on the brakes. Coming around the corner, the chirping's the wastegate every time you shift. Probably around 3rd, 4th gear right now. Left foot brake on the brake, accelerating up through around the corner. Up over the crest and up into 4th gear, and we'll be coming up into 5th gear any second. Coming up into one of the chicanes up here. A little brain fade on my part. The road driver called it, but the road was slippery. Well, the driver back up around the chicane and re-accelerate up through the gears. You can see it's very slippery up there. Was my fault. Up through 5th gear, 100 miles an hour, 180, 190 kilometers an hour. We're approaching down the straightaway, coming up into a hairpin left. Second, 3rd gear, up down towards the straightaway.
Now let's look at this left bend in slow motion. Pay special attention to the front wheels. See how they're not on full opposite lock but pointed into the corner? That's the difference between a slide and a drift. The sidewalls of all 4 tires are supporting the lateral G's in a classic 4-wheel drift. It's a lost art in racing, but it's still the fastest way to get through a corner in a rally.
Right now we're going 3rd, 4th gear. We're just hydroplaning on the surface. It's just pure mud, probably 1 to 2 inches deep. Water, we're just turning down the boost. It's very slippery out there.
Some great descriptions from Frank Sprongel, and in spite of the fact that they went off, they still won the stage ball by 2 seconds over Karamanoglu in the Eagle. Merrill was third, just 4 seconds ahead of this car, Barry and Sandra Latre in their home-built Eagle.
Fifth on the first stage was a Subaru Impreza WRX driven by another three-time champ, Tom McGeer. Subaru Canada has contracted John Buffum's Libra Racing in Vermont to prepare their championship contender. In the co-driver's seat today is veteran John Belfleur. Subaru hopes the veteran co-driver can help McGeer get its rally program back on track in Canada.
Michelin supports 4 top drivers, but only one competes in the Group 2 category, and that's the ice racer, Jonathan Nichols from Bay-d'Urfé, Quebec, in his VW Golf GTI. For the last couple of years, he's been way ahead in the 2-wheel competition, but today, well, he'll meet his match, Paul.
With this Volvo, Pelle Eriksson and Leonard Belander have been regulars in the Swedish Championship. In 1997, they decided to campaign their Volvo 240 in Canada. They were off the pace in the winter rallies where Pelle had never driven without studs, but now with some traction under his wheels, he's flying.
One stage is complete, 200 kilometers to go here at the Bighorn. Well, even the hunters have to stop and watch when the Bighorn Rally goes by. Welcome back to Hinton, Alberta, TSN's coverage of the Michelin Canadian Rally Championship. Big Brother along with Paul Chater, as these next 3 stages will be run on the Weldwood Forestry roads north of Hinton. And the weather may be a little bit misleading. It's beautiful. It's 14 Celsius, about 60 Fahrenheit, but there was snow yesterday, and it's still at the side of the roads.
And the roads are actually very misleading for the drivers. At higher altitudes, there are some snowy patches. And we see the surface change from hard gravel to mud, from snow to rock, and it makes tire choice extraordinarily difficult.
As we ride along with Carl Merrill. Oh, and for one of the few times, Carl Merrill makes a mistake.
Big sideways, middle of the road. Didn't turn it right around, but he was desperately close to putting it into the ditch. Watch this now. He's got the rear wheels into the snow. And he had to get it straightened out. It cost him 11 seconds, dropping behind the Subaru McGeer into 4th spot on the leaderboard.
Selchuk Karamanoglu consistently posting top 3 times. He and co-driver Tony Lamino swapping 2nd place with McGeer and Merrill, but Sprongel nearly 1 second per kilometer faster, so he is the car to beat.
You can see how the conditions are changing. There's very slick mud on the entry into a turn, and then it gets a little deeper. Actually, probably better grip halfway through the turn. Watch Karamanoglu. Very loose going into the corner.
Now inside with Karamanoglu and his co-driver, navigator Lamino.
Point 1, straight, out on left.
After 4 stages, they are 2nd overall, but this car just doesn't seem to be sitting quite right, does it? Very nervous.
Now, here's the leading Audi of the Sprongels 4-wheel drive and new livery for a new sponsor, Castro Canada. They've joined Michelin and Audi, and the entry is officially the Audi dealer team Castro. That car tracks through the corners.
Well, altogether different look of this car as compared to, say, Karamanoglu.
More horsepower and much more stable in the turns. Now, there is a chicane right there in the middle of this long straightaway. It's a barrier put up to slow the cars down. So instead of just barreling along it in 5th gear at 220 kilometers an hour, this will bring them under the 120 kilometer limit that the organizers have set for the stages.
And in fact, 5th gear has a rev limiter on it, doesn't it?
Exactly, Vic, at 8,250 RPM, which is good for a top speed of about 215 kilometers an hour. Earlier, Vic asked co-driver Dan Sprongel what it's like to be in the passenger seat at that speed.
The first thing I'm surprised is that your eyes are open. My eyes would be closed here. I'd be afraid.
Well, I have full confidence in Frank. To me, driving with Frank is like driving in regular traffic at 60 kilometers an hour. But obviously, everything is happening so much quicker at 215 kilometers an hour. So I'm anticipating what's coming up with the help of the route book. I'm looking down now to see what's coming up, to see the distance that's left to the next corner. We have an electronic pedometer in the car that helps me with that. And at that speed, I have to count down sooner. Usually I count down at 300, 200 200, 100 coming into a corner. Now I'm probably counting down half a kilometer, down to 300, down to 100, so you can slow down in time to see the corner.
So you just warned him about that left-hander. Now, are you shouting to him, or have you got microphones?
No, we have microphones, and sometimes Frank is concentrating so much, I have to like use a hand signal, sort of wave my left hand or my right hand, sort of get his attention to see that the corner's coming up. Because he's fully focused at that speed, and he's looking so far ahead of the road. I'm there sort of as a secondary thing, as a reinforcement.
I need reinforcements to sit in the right seat of a rally car. I don't know how they do it. And here's Tom McGear. The Subaru's moved into third. It was a slow start for him, but he's charging now, and he finished second on stages 2, 3, and 4.
The Group 2 battle. Nichols front drive. VW holds a slim 19-second lead after 4 stages, but the Ericsson Volvo is closing the gap. The Michelin Canadian Rally Championship on TSN. It's a routine service for all the top crews. Frank Sprongel making sure that the people can see the sponsors' stickers. You've got to get the mud off the rims because extra mud can affect the balance. Tom McGear, baby daughter Heather, he's currently in third position. Karamanoglu not that far ahead. Montanen Civic is leading production sport. And here's a surprise, Paul. Merrill's Ford is off the pace.
Curiously off the pace. Here's special stage number 5, Wild River. It's 10.1 kilometers long. The surface is dry and rocky, and it's a fast stage. Now here's Carl Merrill. Car number 1, he's first on the road, but 4th in the standings. He's 11 seconds behind McGear. He's not having any car problems, so you have to think that he's probably driving conservatively. You have to remember that last year, 3 cars, including Merrill's, blew their engines because of the excessively high speeds on this Bighorn Rally. So Merrill is probably nursing the car and trying to protect his Canadian championship. He wants the points.
And that is a key. You have to remember it's a 7-event series, and points all add up to a possible championship. As we look at Seljuk Karamanoglu second place, but he knows that McGear and the Subaru are quickly catching up. Seljuk, though, will win this stage.
Slide. We just got it collected in time to go over that narrow bridge.
Point 3, very hard left.
Once again, co-driver Tony Lamino.
Point 1, very hard left.
That's a hard left Lamino was warning him about.
From overhead, the Castrol Audi of Frank and Dan Sprongel. Boy, there isn't a lot of room, is there?
Not much at all, but these are very fast roads. They're not very wide, fairly smooth. He's getting some amazing speeds through here. Hard on the brakes, and you see these long straightaways and long sweeping turns require tremendous concentration and very light hands on the wheel.
Sprongel would eventually tie the stage for second place, 5 seconds behind Karamanoglu. And he nurses it across that bridge.
And he tied the stage with this car, the Subaru of Tom McGear. Tom loves this road. He prefers, though, technical driving on tighter, twistier roads than what the drivers refer to as these courage stages. Look at the slide, getting it straightened out over the bridge very cautiously. There's a big bump at the end of that bridge.
Of the cars we've seen, though, I would suggest that the Audi and the Subaru, as you say, are tracking the best.
Yeah, and you have to wonder how much of that is due to what's sitting behind the wheel. Both Sprongel and McGear, very smooth drivers. They very rarely make mistakes, even though we saw Sprongel run off the road. You can see how much the conditions change. Big puddles, wet road. He's just come off a much faster, dry section of roadway. Again, surface change here. It makes it very difficult.
The VW of John Nichols Nichols in the Group 2 battle with the Swedish Volvo, and Paul, it couldn't be tighter. 4 stages so far, they've each won 2. This 5th stage turned out to be a tie.
Both cars are beautifully prepared, and they couldn't be more different or require more different driving techniques. About 275 horsepower in each car through a racing dogtooth gearbox. Nichols is a 6-speed limited slip. Now, his driving style, look at the front drive VW, oversteers under braking, going into the corner, so he's entering the turns very fast. However, the rear drive Volvo doesn't enter the corners quite as quickly, but he has to balance the car better with the throttle to get some speed coming out of the turn. So he's making it up coming out of the corners. Different cars, extremely different driving techniques, but the results, oddly, are identical. 10 kilometers in 6 minutes and 16 seconds.
So it's a battle between Volkswagen and Volvo in Group 2. We've completed 5 stages here in Hinton, Alberta. It's the Bighorn Rally. The Sprongles still leading. Halfway through on TSN. Welcome back to the Michelin Bighorn Rally and this special stage number 6. And Frank Sprongle, Paul, has opened a lead of just over a minute.
Now here we have, again, another change in road surface. This is dry, it's rocky, and it's very quick. The tires are taking just a battering on all the cars. It's very difficult to choose the right kind. Look at this bouncing that they're having to put up with, and the size of the rocks. Now here's Carl Merrill. He's in the midst of a furious 3-way battle for second place between Karamanoglu and McGear. They're all within 33 seconds. Merrill had a problem with the car, broken front shock, so maybe he wasn't driving conservatively after all. Got into the surface stage, into the service area, discovered there was a broken shock, and now he's starting to pressure the other 2 for second place.
Boy, those undercarriages, those skid plates are also getting a workout on these rocky roads of Hinton, Alberta. Seljuk Karamanoglu, he won the last stage outright by 5 seconds over Sprongel and McGear. And you know something? He'll win this stage too by 6 seconds.
Got a little air.
Gets a little air there.
He's not letting up at all. He's still the fastest over that bridge of anyone.
One of those cars in the battle for second, the Subaru team of McGear and Belfleur.
And after a slow start, McGear has been chipping away at second place, just 21 seconds behind Karamanoglu at this point. They'll finish 3rd here. Other than a flat tire in a transit stage, they've had a trouble-free run so far, and they're the only top car not running on Michelin Rally tires.
Not quite the hop as the others have had there.
Now look at the difference. Karamanoglu thundered over that bridge. The car takes a beating doing that, but McGear much more cautious, saving the equipment.
Completed 7 stages, and the co-drivers get together to compare scores as the cars get another service.
Here's John Buffum, the veteran who is building Tom McGear's Subaru. Carl Merrill probably wishing he found that broken shock a little earlier.
And the Sprongles continue to look at their car. They're in first place as they begin stage 9, a repeat of the day's first stage, and all the snow we saw earlier, Paul, is gone now.
And because it's gone, the road is fast and dry, and the organizers are fearing that it's a little too fast, so they've cut it to half its original length. Sprongel blasting through this 9-kilometer uphill climb in just 5 minutes and 39 seconds. That's an average of 131 kilometers an hour from a standing start on a dirt road. Try that in your grocery getter.
Carl Merrill, broken shock fixed, and he's just happy to finish 4th here and maintain his points lead in the Canadian Championship.
Karamanoglu pushing hard to keep McGear behind him for second place. They've been swapping seconds all day. On stage 8, they tie.
And McGear in the Subaru is getting faster. He ties the Sprongles to win the stage. But as it turns out, the stage won't matter in the final scoring.
It will be excluded because the cars exceeded the 120-kilometer-per-hour limit on this stage. The organizers are going to have to find a better way to reduce the speeds of the rally cars rather than canceling competitive stages like this.
Watching Barry and Sandra Latreille, they're running very well. They finish in 5th spot. And in the Group 2 competition, the Nichols, VW, John Nichols. As the roads dry out, he is losing time now to the Volvo of Pelle Eriksson. Why would that be?
Well, it could be 2 reasons, Vic. First of all, Nichols, an old ice racer. The car's set up for ice racing. He loves tight, twisting roads where he can throw the car around. However, on these longer, faster stages, he is at a disadvantage to the Volvo. He is also apparently having difficulty with 5th gear. When you're on a fast stage like this, if you can't get 5th gear to engage, you're pretty well buried.
And as you say, these cars are comparable in horsepower and weight, but the Volvo with the advantage now. As we've completed 9 stages, the Sprongles continue to stretch their lead. The Michelin Bighorn Rally from Hinton, Alberta continues with the final stage. And my goodness, Frank and Dan Sprongle have it turned up.
An average of 135 kilometers an hour.
And the chirping we hear
Is the wastegate on the turbocharger every time he changes gears.
But surprisingly, despite the 135 kilometer per hour average, dig in, he couldn't win the stage. He wasn't fast enough because this man was faster. Selchuk Karamanoglu.
Hard on the brakes, coming into this very difficult uphill. The roads shoot up. He's trying to find some traction.
And still looking for the traction. Boy, Selchuk Karamanoglu, and despite the spin, would tie for the win of the stage with Tom McGear. Boy, they've really come on. They started so slowly, but this Subaru.
And he'll finish 3rd overall, 23 seconds behind Karamanoglu. Here comes Carl Merrill. Further 38 seconds back in 4th place, overtook it going into that turn.
Hasn't been his rally. Oh! And the winner of the cameraman class, well, that would have been John Nichols in the VW. Frank and Dan Sprongle are the Bighorn Rally winners by 1:02 over Selchuk Karamanoglu.
Well, the competition was great. Carl was out here, Tom McGear, Selchuk with his Mitsubishi, and the other guys from the Western Division running in their own classes. Good competition for this part of the country.
Do you think it's getting tougher, Dan?
Yeah, because this is probably have the highest amount of top-seeded drivers throughout the Canadian Rally Championship this year. Big American guys come up, people from Vermont come up, and usually they don't make the track. So it's going to be close for the rest of the year, I think.
And the other big story, Paul, has to be Tom McGear finally has a strong finish for Subaru.
As the day progressed, we started getting faster and faster, and our times were quite competitive towards the end. Hard to say. Frank had a good lead, and he may have just been backing off a bit, so we'll just see. I think there's a bit more coming out of the car, so yeah, I'd like to think I can catch him.
So Tom McGear is setting his sights on the Sprongles. The Volvo team of Pelle Eriksson and Lennart Pullander, they win Group 2, and they'll be staying in Canada for the rest of the season. Honda Canada scores another win in production sport class with Harry Montanen and Brian Maxwell. They are 3 for 3. And in the overall championship, after 3 events, Carl Merrill, 5 points ahead of Frank Sprongle. Today's rally on TSN has been brought to you by Michelin. Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires. Congratulations to Frank and Dan Sprongle. Turning donuts here in Hinton. They're the winners of the Bighorn Rally on TSN.